Welcome back, traders, to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing a deeper analysis here on AMD stock, looking at the financials, also the price charts. We'll be looking at key levels to buy the stock as well as some price targets, and why I firmly believe that the stock is heavily undervalued compared to what Wall Street has currently valued in the stock. So whether you're a swing trader or a day trader, you definitely don't want to miss out. So let's get started. We've seen overall revenues here on the yearly increasing on AMD. Ever since 2019, we've been seeing this nice steady uptrend here on this blue columns, right? AMD has been seeing rising revenue as well. We've been seeing that their gross profit is increasing as well over time, which is nice to see that the trends are increasing here. Net income has been having a little bit of a harder time growing. It has grown, but it kind of slowed down a little bit here over the past couple of years. But the stock is heavily being underfavored here by Wall Street, right? Nvidia is the leader, and there's always been this sentiment that it's lagging behind Nvidia, but I firmly believe that Wall Street is slowly starting to take notice here, especially after the latest Q2 earnings. Now, if you look at the chart here, AMD saw a very strong dip, right? Let me just take this off for you guys here. So AMD saw a very strong dip, right, on earnings. We gapped down, and even though the stock beat, right, they beat on their EPS estimates as well on the revenue, the stock somehow declined here, right? They posted better earnings than if you look at a prior year, right? Year over year change exceptionally well here. And Wall Street, for some reason, decided to sell the stock. And this is exactly what we saw on Amazon. I firmly believe that, Wall Street underscores this, maybe the CapEx, but later they start to buy the stock because they see that the potential is there and that there's more future upside here on the company. Looking simply at the hourly chart, because it's pretty much, I believe, the best mix between the shorter term and the longer term time frames. I believe that the best levels to buy AMD are going to be here, where we saw this bounce today at the $161 level, which is going to be here. I'll put that as green to signify that the buyers were in this level, and this was a prior area of support here. If we see this, it was an anchored VWAP that held here, where we saw some intense volume coming in, and the buyers defended, and this initiated this nice upward trend towards the highs, where we got a little bit of overextension. If we see on the RSI, it got pretty overextended around 70, and it was obvious we were going to see some type of pullback, kind of what we saw on Amazon and a little bit of Nvidia. Some other levels here, if the stock decides to decline a little bit further here on, for example, we'll be looking at the levels of $150 with 94 cents, and the last level that I'd be looking at is going to be here $146.47 if the stock decides, like I said, to do a deeper pullback, obviously based on the current market sentiment and overall what the Nasdaq has on the future. But I believe the stock had a very nice area of support here, if we see here on the hourly chart right here, and I believe the next price targets that we have on the stock is towards $171 and towards the next area of resistance, which is $179 here and 73 cents. See, now if we zoom in, what I would really like to see here on AMD would be something like this. I'd like to see the price action defend this level, and we'd like to see some rejection, just like we saw today. Obviously, this is not to scale, right? But I'd like to see the price action do something like this, obviously. Find some candles, obviously, with some pullbacks, etc. But slowly start to trend towards the upside here and have here some area of resistance, and finally, break above this area here, this 170, which is where this overall anchored VWAP here from that high is going to be located here. It's going to be like this. It's going to start curling like that, and we're going to start seeing the sellers, being within this level. So I'd like to see the price action do this, break above, find some nice upward momentum here, have this candle that breaks above this area of resistance, catch those sellers off guard here that initiated downward momentum here from the earnings, and have that upward momentum here towards our price target, like I said, of $180 here above the highs here on AMD. And simply, if you look at the overall smaller time frame, like the 5-minute, that's where we had the buyers, right? Simply, if you look here at the chart on the 5-minute, the stock experienced a very heavy down draw here. The stock kept declining. It was like program selling here, but as soon as it got below this level here, this anchored VWAP here of 160-175, the buyers immediately started to buy with such aggressiveness. We see this intense bid here. Buyers came in because they were buying it under the VWAP at a discount, right? They started to bid up the stock, and they slowly started to kind of cooled down a little bit, then we pulled back, found support exactly again at that VWAP, and we just continued towards upside here, and we closed at the highs of the day here. Here at around $163, which was quite nice to see here, especially on the stock. We all saw that this was a potential reversal because we saw that there was a formation here of the hammer candle here, followed by a candle, which is this one right here. Let me see if I can just point it out to you guys. This candle here closed higher than the hammer candle, right? So this was the open, the close, and then the open, the close. This one closed higher than the candle, so we knew that would be the initiation of the long, and we did enter long around here. We placed our stop at the low of the day around $157.82, and we initiated our target towards VWAP here, which was $161, because we knew that there would be some type of pullback, some type of slowing down. There would be some type of slowdown here in the buying, and then the selling would slowly start to emerge, and that's what happened here. And we found support, and we just initiated towards upside. But overall, I am firmly bullish on AMD. I believe the stock's going to be pretty bullish over the next coming days, and especially weeks. This can be easily played through options, especially, right? We saw a bounce here, and I believe a lot of buyers are going to be found here because it was a prior area of support where we had multiple touches. Like I said here, corroborated by the evidence here on this day of July 22nd here of 2025, and also on this day here we see multiple areas of defend here of July 14th here of 2025. So if you guys like this video, feel free to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and let me know down in the comments what your price targets are for AMD. As always, stay uplifted and don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.